Good evening, as always, freezing and happy here in Tokyo. How are we doing? This is Pooske. As you can see from the video clip, it worked. I was able to reprint another part and use it, and it was working just fine. We went to Shinjuku to watch new Star Wars. It was really good. I liked it. There's things I could complain about, but I actually overall enjoyed it. And the bike worked well. It's a lot faster. It's using the full battery in that clip. So it's going pretty much as fast as it can go. I was careful with the throttle just because I was worried that something could go wrong. But at the end of the trip, I was going full throttle. The battery lasted the whole way there and back. It was about 6 kilometers. So it was overall a good trip, a good experience. So very, very, very promising. But there's always a but. I disconnected one of the motors because the little hinge part, the thing that goes inside, this part, this little piece came out from one side, so I took it off and I just left the right side motor running on that one battery, and I didn't change anything. But because the battery's power wasn't split in two, it was just directly in one system or one motor. It heated up a lot, like melting PLA completely off, a lot. And the motor looks a little crispy as well. So that might not operate at full potential anymore. So note to self, one battery has a lot more juice than the one 40 amps at the full 24 volts is a bit much for these little motors. I mean, the motor seemed to handle it, but the temperature was way too high. So I'll be careful with that, and I'll probably split it off more. I'll continuously keep the battery split into two systems, and then into the two motors, the left and the right. And I might put on a heat sink so that the motor cools itself down more, or somehow put a fan on it so that'll help it cool itself. I'll need to think of a way to cool it down. I don't think I can do it with PLA. I'd like to keep everything PLA, but this might be one of those cases where I either have to cut down on power, use other materials to cool it down, or use the power of imagination to come up with something new. But it was a good trip, a good ride, good movie. Overall, a good day, even though one part melted to bits and my printer's being cheeky. Tronic CX1 is a good printer, but you get what you pay for, so you need to keep it fine-tuned, and you need to know what you're doing to keep it running right. Well, that aside, today's snack is now these little donut thingies. I couldn't tell you what they're called, but there's only one. I mean, there's only one shape. They only come in there's only one company, I think, that makes these, and they're awful. And I mean it. They're completely awful. They taste like stale cupcakes or stale muffins. It feels like somebody left them overnight on the counter, and they didn't get hard, but they got stale. But the weird thing is, the first one is awful. Absolutely terrible. But they're good awful. After a moment, you'll start craving, you're hoping for another one. And then the second one is a lot better than the first one for some reason. And I think it's just I honestly couldn't explain it. The second one is so much better. And the juice gets better from there. And anyone who's used to eating nice pastry, soft bread, something sweet, will understand that they're not good at the first bite. But every bite after that is fantastic. And I can't explain it. And it's the same for everybody. Every time I get guests or people visited me from back home or anywhere else, I was like, try these. And they try one, like, oh, those aren't very good. And a few moments later, like, let me have another one. Okay, have another one. And a few moments later, how can I get one? Let me go get one more bag for myself. And it's ridiculous. I don't know why, but these little bastards, they're awful in the greatest way. tomorrow we'll probably just be working on the printer and see if we can get it running back. I still have a good amount of PLA. So we might start looking into what brand we want to try next. But as of right now, that's enough for me to do a few more prints. I really like the new one I printed. Everything seemed to work well. So we're going to stick with this one more time. We're going to reprint it again, and hopefully they don't melt. Or hopefully I don't do something silly like have all the juice running to one battery or one system and melt everything. The control box needs a cover, and I've already designed one. And I'll probably show off the little program I use to design things if I have nothing else going on. With that said, thank you very much for joining me. I'll keep you posted on what comes up next or what new ideas come up. If you have any comment suggestions, I welcome any suggestions. So please leave them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. Thank you. Have a good night.